Hi everyone, Keith Arkmerk Farms. Today I'm going to discuss something that I've actually never seen a video done from a farming perspective. And that's actually shooting pictures, videos, walking around doing the advertisement type stuff on your farm, and how I get such good pictures when I actually shoot out here. I've had them featured in different places, and if you can't tell, I might or might not have just won a photo contest through one of them. Heresies, go check it out. It's up on the main page and it'll be right here. So let me show you. Now, as I said, I've never seen a video on this, so I figured it'd be a good time to shoot one because it's kind of on the top of my mind. And that is shooting pictures for your farm. Great for emails, for your website, just social media, kind of getting people to see what your farm's all about. The real trick is when you're on a working farm, you got stuff like this hanging out, piece of landscape fabric blown around. You got all kinds of stuff you really have to avoid, and that's where it makes it really tricky. So you really have to kind of focus in on what you want to shoot, the time of day you want to shoot. If you've got beautiful cloud cover, which there it comes up right there, to have a good looking background. Things you don't want to see in your background is what I just pointed out, basically just trash, garbage stuff, messy tool wall, yellowing cucumbers, which, by the way, I saw some in here earlier. I mean, they're really nice looking cucumbers, but a really horrible looking plant. They're about at the end of their cycle, and that's why I have more planted here, because we'll rip these out. So we'll go out in the field and kind of square up a shot, show you that, and then we'll move inside and show you how I actually shoot my produce. Again, you can head over to arkmerkfarms.com. All the pictures on that website are ones that I've shot personally, and also show you some of the other things I've had published. So we'll go out here and try to find a view where we can get a nice picture and kind of show you my process and the way I do it from the view of the camera, and then how I actually work to make them look a little better. So I'll go hunting and we'll go shoot some pictures. So when it comes down to shooting good pictures, this is not going to make a good photo at all. We're full of grass. I've got a bunch of bolted stuff there, old crop out there, and especially these insect nettings just will not make anything that anybody wants to look at. Now here's a much more appealing shot. There are some weeds down here in the corner, right through there, but that's kind of to be expected. But look at the germination on those carrots, and if I kind of continue over, I can shoot up through the beets in the carrots and have a nice view. I always try to get down to the ground, because if you're standing up higher, well, for one thing, I get irrigation lines in my way, but it's just not really all that good. And if you kind of get a mid-level, you get the irrigation lines running through, you got the linearity of the tunnel, and you can still see the greens down pretty low. So we will shoot a picture, which I forgot to tell you, you don't need a fancy camera for this. Smartphones now have ridiculous clarity, color, and the ability to edit right on the device. So that's what I've always used, and they always come out great, and they'll be more than what you could ever need for any type of publications that you're going to do with them. Now the next shot I'm going to be squaring up is clear from the back of the farm. We're down at the bottom. We got a nice blue sky background. We got the irrigation actually running. And I've kind of got the linearity of the irrigation lines, which always look good. And the sprinklers going off, which this should make a good photo. I don't want to bring it down too far to get all this grass in here. I want to kind of scale it to where it's right at the bottom, and it gives us a good skyline background, and we'll shoot this picture right here too. Now I can start to see another good photo come in. Problem is, I got an eyesore of an old greenhouse with a bunch of junk underneath it, blue bucket and a lawnmower tractor I need to move, but I can probably just frame it out of the shot and not have to worry about it. So here is about eye level. I like it. It looks like it works pretty good. I do have some orange flags out there that I'm not digging too much. Right in there, and the insect netting as well. That's not going to look good. So we're just going to slide over a little bit to the green beans. And we're going to work with a foreground and background picture. So I like the cart back there. The orange cart, not so much. Might actually move up a little higher and angle down at it. Well, no, it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to move over far enough. But again, I like the linearity of how it kind of travels off to the distance through the side. We're not getting much sky in it, but I don't necessarily know if I want that much sky in it. I got the nice red building behind me. So we're going to take that picture right there. So now we're going to head into the pack building. I'm going to shoot some product pictures. This, I have a standardized setup, background, what I really like to do, so it all scales out on the web page. Another great thing about shooting all your photos, shoot them in spring when things look really, really good. Shoot them year after year after year. If you ever, in your wildest dreams, think you might write a book, do a presentation, go talk to your community, you can do PowerPoint slides, you have to have these kind of photos, otherwise you're going to be scurrying around your garden and find you got like 1-2 shots and then you've got weedy stuff and stuff that people like see, like weeds next to the building. And it's very good to have a good inventory of these photos out there so you have them when you need them. Like I said, I've been shooting these now for going on 7 or 8 years, and I have a vast collection all throughout the season. So anytime I go and do presentations and speak, I can actually make up the presentation, go hunt down the photographs I need, and put together a rather well-rounded, basically, slideshow of photos to talk about different things as they go, which makes it very, very convenient for me, and quite simply to put together because I already have all the material and it's ready. All I gotta do is pop it in a slide and I'm done. Not inside. So welcome to the Arkenberg Farms Elite Photo Studio. What I have, something to hold something up, just a crate and assistant, and then I have my background to shoot on. Actually found this at a big box store. They sold like a 1/4 sheet of paneling. I really like the graining and texture and color. It really makes vegetables pop. Anytime you have a background, you really want to get something that actually makes your produce pop. Second, we have our product bowl. I always use the same bowl in all of my pictures. That way it kind of gives scale when you're looking through them. So it doesn't give people the perception that they're getting more or less than what they think, because everything is shot in the same wood bowl. Never polished it, never done anything to it, but it's what I'll use. Go grab my produce, we'll get it arranged, and go shoot a picture of it. Now the easiest thing for me to find was some cherry tomatoes, because they were right on top. So what I typically do is I'll actually weigh out a predetermined portion of what we actually sell at the farmer's market or through our web store. That way customers get a realistic idea of what they're getting. I know this is about a pint, so I'm just going to load up what I remember to be about a pint. Something just about like that. Now we're really looking at the quality. Like if we got little markings on them, they don't make the best in the world. I try to avoid stems that kind of look like they might be a little dry. So you can either pop them off or just flip it over. Now we'll turn it around and get a good angle on this thing and take a picture. Now this is the trickiest part with shooting produce, especially on a small board. Now we have overhead lights, so we're not picking up any weird shadows or anything, but the coloration will change just with the lighting that's on them. So we want to kind of get a good presentation, good representation of what we're shooting. So I'm just kind of arranging them. I like to shoot in landscape like this, and then I can edit it back later for size and shape. So we're looking, if we go too low, we're going to pick up stuff in the background. Too high, that just doesn't look good. You want to kind of be at like a 45-degree angle here to where you're centered and you got a nice representation of what's here. Don't like that little top pointing at me, but I do like having it up front. And we got a nice little arrangement here. Kind of turn them until you get what looks best. It doesn't hurt to take a couple pictures as well. But we're just trying to get a nice colorful kaleidoscope of tomatoes that'll make a good shot. So I kind of like that right there, but I do not like that right there. There we are. No green, they're bright, colorful things, and we'll shoot a picture right there. Now from here, we'll step into the photo editing booth, which happens to be wherever I sit, and use this device right here that we just shot the pictures on. Very simple to do. I am using a Samsung device, so it might be a little bit different than Apple, but I don't imagine it's too much different or too much crazier to work with. First part of this is we scroll around and find our pictures. So there's our first one here. We go into the edit, which is the little thing up top there. And now we can actually go through and start to edit this photo. The three dots on this give us our first option, which the easiest is auto color. Usually a pretty good option. I do find with flowers and stuff you might want to go more towards the cool, but you also have the best way is auto color. And then we'll go into brightness, which is a little circle. We don't mess with the light balance, but we actually usually want to increase the brightness to just make things look better and make them pop more. Now from here, it's not a bad photo. We can go in and crop it, so we could go through and say change the size. We can grab it and it'll tell us like 3:4. That's really good for Shopify, but I didn't shoot it that way. 4:3, really good for social media. Bring it till it gets there. And then you can actually move your photo around and find out what section you want. You can also zoom in on it and just take a certain area of it, which that doesn't look very good. Kind of digging all the way zoomed out because we got a nice row ending off camera, another row starting off camera, some nice stuff in the background. So I think we will just go through and save that. I kind of like that one. And then we'll go back to the other one we shot out in the field. So here's the one we shot in the field. Beautiful skyline, crops going in. I got a little bit of dirt down here at the bottom, or grass on the edge I really don't want to see. So the first thing I'm going to do is go through, do our auto color, which really brings up the contrast in it, brings out the blue in the sky. The other thing toward the front, and then we'll go back to cropping and we'll just bring it in just a little bit until we lose that grass on the bottom, which we can do that and slide it down a little bit. I'm fairly happy with that. There's a little bit of stuff on the left side I really wouldn't want to see. So if I continue to work with this photo, I would go ahead and crop the size of it. Move it over to say a 4:3, and then I can kind of move it around to where I want it. I need to bring it in, zoom just a little bit. Give a nice upward sky. So everything in the third bottom of the photo is my produce. Top 2/3 roughly are the sky and the greenhouses. So that's a really good like landscape type photo there. That's something I could dig, something I could actually use. I wouldn't want to go in further necessarily because I start to lose the sky and you see a little bit more detail. Well, that one actually ain't horrible. There's a lot of junk in the background that I'm not too hot on. So we'll take it to right about kind of like that right there, just down a little hair. That'd work right there. Looks really good to me. Now we'll go to our other low shot photo. This will be our greenhouse shot. I would have liked if the left side of the tunnel would have been rolled up a little further. It would have looked a little cleaner, but that shouldn't be a problem. Again, we'll run the auto, which really brings out the contrast. It doesn't look like I need to bring up any more light on it. do got a bare patch right here at the beginning, so with that I would just zoom in a little bit and slide a little. It looks like there's something over there on the left. I don't know what that is, a sandbag maybe? But we're trying to make the produce be the key to this photo and not the greenhouse itself. Kind of looking straight down it. Not too sure I like that. I should have done a little bit closer down and like shot an aisle shot just straight down the carrots themselves. That probably would have popped better. But that's about where I'd leave it. I'd either use it or wouldn't. And then finally we're going to go back to our tomato shot. So there's our tomato shot. Again, we're going to go and edit. We're going to do the auto, which looks pretty good. A lot of times in here I have to add just a little bit more light. There we go, to really give the contrast and make the tomatoes pop. Now we'll go to sizing. So on our online store, it really likes to have things, oh come on, drag for me. I don't know what you're doing. So online store really likes a 4-3. 4 wide, 3 tall. Okay, 3-4. There we are. So since I shot this, there we go. That's just about perfect. Probably would have liked that shot just down a little bit further because we're losing the rim of the bowl, but we're centered in our picture. Not a bad picture. I think we can work with that, and that's what we'll end up with. So here's yet another photo I've had published before. It's in the Kansas Rural Papers, just through redbud trees up at my caterpillar tunnels. Came out pretty good. I actually shot this like 3 or 4 years ago. It just came out spring 23 and was published. So it came out really good. I don't think the rest of the pictures in here are much. Nope, I don't have any of the others. What I did provide them, they put in black and white, which really doesn't give it justice. But hey, it is what it is. So that's the basics, how I shoot photos. You got to play around with it. Lighting outside, especially during sunset, gives you really cool stuff to take pictures of, which look really good for promotion of your farm. Also having a wall of stuff behind you does too, which turns out really good when I'm shooting video over here. That's why I've got this kind of corner carved out of here for that specific purpose, to do Q&As, webinars, conference calls. So it looks like, hey, I'm in an office, not a pack house full of stuff. Again, it's all about the way you point your camera and what you shoot. So I hope this was useful. Hope this will really help. Head over to arkenbergfarms.com. Like I said, all those pictures on there are pictures I've shot through the years. A lot of them I really didn't edit much at all. They were just straight shot photos. I might have zoomed it or cropped it a little, because that was before I had this new fancier phone. And then share them, put them on social media. Anytime you publish anything to the internet, it is now copyrighted for you as your exclusive use. So don't steal pictures from other people's websites. People actually have ways to track down those images. And then you'll get a nasty letter in the mail from a lawyer charging you a ridiculous fee for using their photo. $5,000, $10,000. So I will warn you on that. Please don't use my photos. If you do want to use my photos, contact me directly and we'll talk about it. Harris Seeds, go check it out on the homepage. It's got the photo on top that's shot here at Arkenberg Farms. Go check that out. Go check out their store. Enter photo contest. I mean, it's fun to do. I've always done it, and I shoot more video than pictures now, but I still shoot a lot of pictures because I enjoy what I do. I want to share it with other people. And when people at the farmers market ask me, hey, did you grow this? I can pull out my phone and be like, oh yeah, see, here's a picture, here's a picture. Oh, you want to watch a video of me walking through it and talking about it? Really helpful in sales. So, as always, hope you all liked the show today. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe. Thank y'all. Have a good day.